Top 3 essential minerals. Every diabetic must take lower blood sugar. You're doing everything right at least. That's what they tell you. You take your meds, you watch your carbs, you check your sugar every morning. But still, your feet tingle like static at night. Your energy crashes by mid-morning. Your wounds take forever to heal. And worst of all, no one can explain why. What if the problem isn't just your blood sugar? What if your body is quietly running out of the very minerals it needs to fight back? In this video, we're uncovering the 3 essential minerals your diabetic body may be starving for, and no, your doctor probably hasn't mentioned them. These aren't trendy supplements or miracle cures. These are foundational, scientifically backed nutrients that power your energy, protect your nerves, and help insulin actually do its job. We'll go deep into how each mineral works, how to spot the hidden signs of deficiency, and how to rebuild your health one meal, one habit, one day at a time. So if you've ever thought, something still doesn't feel right, even though I'm doing everything I can, this is for you. Stick with me to the end. And if this resonates, hit that subscribe button. Not because I asked, but because you deserve to feel strong, sharp, and in control again. Part 1. When the numbers look fine, but you don't. It's one of the most frustrating things a diabetic can experience. Your doctor tells you your A1C is okay, your fasting blood sugar is within range, maybe even your cholesterol looks decent, but something still feels off. You're constantly tired, your skin is dry, your legs feel heavy, your wounds take longer to heal, and the numbness in your feet creeps in a little more each night. These symptoms are often dismissed as just aging, but for millions of Americans over 60 living with diabetes, they're actually early warning signs of something deeper: micronutrient depletion. You see, diabetes is more than just a sugar problem. It changes the way your body stores, absorbs, and uses essential minerals long before complications like neuropathy or kidney damage show up in your labs. According to research published in the Journal of Diabetes Research, over 70% of people with type 2 diabetes have deficiencies in key trace minerals, especially chromium, zinc, and magnesium. These aren't just minor imbalances. They quietly fuel inflammation, weaken insulin's ability to work, and increase oxidative stress on nerves and blood vessels. This slow, silent depletion happens for a few reasons. First, high blood sugar itself acts like a diuretic. It makes your kidneys work overtime, flushing out not just glucose, but minerals too. Second, many medications commonly prescribed to diabetics like diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or metformin also increase the loss of zinc and magnesium. And third, our modern diet simply doesn't provide enough of these minerals, especially when we're told to avoid red meat, nuts, or full-fat dairy. What's even more dangerous, your blood tests might not catch these deficiencies. Magnesium, for instance, only shows up in the blood in small amounts, less than 1% of total body stores. You could be deeply deficient and still have normal labs. So if you're feeling run down, even when your glucose numbers are stable, the issue may not be your sugar, it may be what's missing around it. And the first missing piece we'll explore is a mineral most doctors rarely talk about, but one your insulin absolutely depends on: the work chromium. Let's dig into why this one tiny mineral could be the switch that flips everything. Part 2. Chromium, the forgotten spark of insulin power. In the 1950s, scientists discovered something surprising during animal studies when certain trace minerals were removed from the diet. Blood sugar control collapsed even when insulin levels were normal. That mineral turned out to be chromium. And while it's been studied for decades, it remains one of the least understood but most crucial nutrients for people with type 2 diabetes. Chromium plays a behind-the-scenes role in helping insulin do its job. It's part of a compound called glucose tolerance factor (GTF), which helps insulin attach to its receptors and shuttle sugar into your cells. Without chromium, insulin may still be circulating in your bloodstream, but the door to your cells stays closed. Sugar builds up in the blood, fatigue sets in, and the cycle of insulin resistance begins. Multiple clinical studies have backed up its importance. A meta-analysis published in Diabetes Technology and Therapeutics found that supplementing with 200 to 1,000 micrograms of chromium picolinate daily can lower fasting blood glucose by 20-30 milligrams DL and reduce HbA1c by up to 1%. That's on par with some medications, but with fewer side effects when used responsibly. Yet here's the catch: diabetics lose chromium faster than healthy individuals. Every time your blood sugar spikes, your kidneys flush chromium out in the urine. The higher the spike, the greater the loss. If you're frequently urinating, especially at night, that's a red flag that minerals are being lost with every trip to the bathroom. Chromium deficiency often goes unnoticed because its symptoms mimic diabetes itself: fatigue, sugar cravings, foggy thinking, and even burning feet. That's why so many seniors feel stuck in a loop. They're treating high blood sugar, but missing the micronutrient that helps unlock real control. Food sources of chromium are becoming increasingly scarce. Soil depletion and food processing strip much of the chromium from grains and vegetables. Half a cup of broccoli contains about 20 micrograms, while a single Brazil nut gives around 10. But for therapeutic effects, many people need at least 200 micrograms per day. That's where thoughtful supplementation can help. The most bioavailable forms are chromium picolinate and chromium polynicotinate. They're better absorbed than chromium chloride or the low-quality blends often found in discount multivitamins. Experts recommend starting with 200 micrograms daily, taken before your largest carbohydrate-rich meal. For those with stubborn insulin resistance, doses up to 600 1,000 micrograms may be considered under medical supervision. Pairing chromium with vitamin C or protein improves absorption, but watch out: calcium, high-dose zinc, or dairy products can block it. So timing matters. Here's the key: chromium isn't a silver bullet, but it's a synergist. When you combine it with magnesium and zinc, two minerals we'll explore next, it creates a web of metabolic support that's stronger than any one nutrient alone. Because as you'll see, blood sugar control isn't just about moving sugar. It's about healing the nerves, restoring energy, and protecting every part of your body insulin touches. And no mineral plays a deeper protective role in that healing than zinc. Part 3: Zinc, the silent protector of nerves, hormones, and wounds. If chromium is the spark that lets insulin unlock your cells, then zinc is the architect that helps build the entire insulin system and repair the damage when things fall apart. And for many seniors with diabetes, the signs of zinc deficiency aren't just present, they've become so familiar that they're mistaken for normal aging. Have you ever wondered why your wounds take forever to heal? Why your skin feels paper thin or constantly dry? Why infections seem to take hold more easily than they used to? These aren't just coincidences. They're all signs that your body may be starving for zinc. Zinc is essential for insulin production, storage, and release. It helps insulin stay stable in the pancreas, acts as a messenger to tell cells how to respond, and supports the enzymes that turn glucose into usable energy. Without zinc, the insulin system becomes chaotic: glucose builds up, energy plummets, and inflammation spreads like wildfire. But zinc's role goes far beyond blood sugar. It's also critical for your immune system, skin repair, reproductive hormones, thyroid function, and brain clarity. And yet, over 90% of adults over 60 don't get enough zinc from their diet. That number jumps even higher among people with type 2 diabetes. According to a study in Biological Trace Element Research, zinc supplementation of 30-50 milligrams daily was shown to reduce fasting blood glucose by up to 30 milligrams DL and decrease HbA1c by 0.5–0.8% within 12 weeks. It also significantly lowered markers of inflammation like C-reactive protein, CRP, and TNF-alpha, both of which are linked to diabetic nerve damage and insulin resistance. So why are so many people deficient? Because diabetes increases urinary zinc loss, similar to chromium, but also because stress, aging, inflammation, and common medications like diuretics, ACE inhibitors, and even metformin all deplete zinc over time. And just like chromium, Even if you're eating healthy, zinc from food is often blocked by fiber, phytates, calcium, and antacids. The warning signs are often ignored, feeling constantly tired despite eating well. Frequent colds or infections, poor wound healing, white spots on nails, reduced sense of taste or smell, burning feet or tingling fingers, irregular hormone levels, low libido, brain fog. If these symptoms sound familiar, it may not be just getting older. It may be that your body is desperately signaling a need for more zinc. Food sources of zinc include oysters, which pack more zinc than any other food. Just 2 medium oysters can provide over 100% of your daily needs. Pumpkin seeds are another powerful source, as are grass-fed beef, egg yolks, chickpeas, and mushrooms. But the key is absorption. Zinc needs to be paired with protein or fat for best uptake, and should not be taken with calcium or iron supplements, which compete for the same pathways. Zinc supplementation should be considered if symptoms persist. Look for forms like zinc picolinate, zinc glycinate, or citrate, all of which are better absorbed than zinc oxide. Start with 15-30 milligrams daily with food. For moderate deficiency, doses up to 50 milligrams may be recommended short-term under medical guidance. Always pair with 1-2 milligrams of copper to avoid imbalance. The right zinc intake won't just stabilize your glucose, it'll strengthen your immunity, accelerate healing, and give you back energy and mental clarity you thought were gone for good. And yet, even with strong insulin and better blood sugar control, many seniors still feel tired, foggy, and restless. Why? Because there's one more mineral that powers your entire metabolism, one that fuels over 600 reactions in your body. That mineral is magnesium. Part 4. Magnesium, the metabolic engine behind energy, sleep, and sugar control. After addressing chromium and zinc, we arrive at perhaps the most overlooked yet most essential mineral for diabetics: magnesium. If zinc is the architect and chromium is the spark, magnesium is the fuel line. Without it, nothing moves, no energy, no sleep, no real healing. Magnesium is required for over 600 enzymatic reactions in the human body, many of which directly regulate blood sugar, insulin sensitivity, and nerve function. But here's the scary part: more than 75% of adults with type 2 diabetes are deficient in magnesium, and most have no idea why. Because just like zinc and chromium, elevated blood sugar causes increased urination, which depletes magnesium. On top of that, common diabetes medications like metformin, diuretics, and proton pump inhibitors further reduce magnesium absorption. Caffeine, stress, aging, and even alcohol add to the drain. And the kicker: only about 1% of your body's magnesium circulates in the blood. That means even if your lab results say normal, your tissues, your muscles, your nerves, your heart might be starving. The symptoms of magnesium deficiency are as widespread as they are misunderstood: chronic fatigue, restless sleep, anxiety, irregular heartbeat, muscle cramps, numbness or tingling in limbs, sugar cravings, constipation, sensitivity to light and sound, even mood swings or depression. Sound familiar? A randomized controlled trial published in Diabetes Care found that 300 to 500 milliliters of magnesium per day significantly reduced fasting blood glucose and improved insulin sensitivity within 12 weeks. Another study in hypertension showed that magnesium supplementation helped lower both systolic and diastolic blood pressure, an added bonus for diabetics struggling with hypertension. Magnesium works on multiple levels. It improves insulin receptor activity, supports GLUT4 transporters to move glucose into cells, reduces systemic inflammation, and even protects pancreatic beta cells from oxidative damage. It also calms the nervous system, reducing the fight-or-flight state that so many people with chronic illness live in unconsciously. And yet, most diabetic diets are dangerously low in magnesium-rich foods. Spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocados, dark chocolate, black beans, and whole grains are some of the best sources, but they're often limited in low-carb diets or lost through overcooking and food processing. That's where intentional choices make a difference. A cup of cooked spinach delivers about 150 mg of magnesium. Add some grilled salmon and a sprinkle of toasted sesame seeds, and you've built a meal that doesn't just satisfy hunger, it restores balance. For dessert, dark chocolate avocado mousse offers both magnesium and heart-healthy fats. And for comfort food, creamy pumpkin soup with coconut milk and turmeric checks all the boxes: anti-inflammatory, magnesium-rich, and deeply soothing. Supplementing magnesium may also be necessary, especially for those with chronic stress, insomnia, or nerve pain. The most bioavailable forms include magnesium glycinate, great for anxiety and sleep, magnesium malate for muscle fatigue and energy, and magnesium citrate for digestion. Avoid magnesium oxide; it's poorly absorbed and mostly acts as a laxative. Typical doses range from 200 to 400 ml daily, split into 2 servings. For transdermal relief, Epsom salt foot soaks can be remarkably effective, especially for seniors with neuropathy or restless legs. Pair magnesium with vitamin B6 to enhance cellular uptake, and always stay hydrated because magnesium moves with water and dehydration hinders its delivery. Still waking up in the middle of the night, still crashing after meals, still feeling like something's missing before assuming it's stress or aging. Consider this: magnesium may be the most foundational nutrient your diabetic body has been begging for. But even when these 3 minerals, chromium, zinc, and magnesium, are in place, they won't work in isolation if your daily habits are silently undoing their benefits. That's what we'll tackle next: the hidden lifestyle traps that quietly drain your healing potential. Part 5, the daily habits that quietly drain your minerals. You can eat all the right foods, take the right supplements, and still come up short if your daily habits are working against you. For many seniors with diabetes, it's not just what they're missing in their diet, but what's stealing the minerals they do have. Let's start with sugar. Every spike in blood glucose increases the loss of magnesium, chromium, and zinc through urine. But it's not just cookies and soda. Healthy foods like fruit juice, flavored yogurt, and even whole wheat bread can cause sharp sugar surges that quietly drain your reserves. Then there's caffeine and alcohol. That morning coffee and evening glass of wine. They may feel comforting, but both act as diuretics. They increase urination, reduce mineral absorption, and irritate your gut, further limiting what your body can use. Even some medications, including common antacids, blood pressure drugs, and metformin, decrease absorption or increase excretion of these minerals. Add in stress, lack of sleep, and dehydration, and it's easy to see how your body could be fighting a losing battle even on a healthy routine. The good news: small changes matter. Swap fruit juice for infused water, replace white rice with quinoa or lentils, add sea salt and potassium-rich veggies to fight dehydration, and space out your medications or supplements to avoid competition for absorption. These tweaks don't just protect your minerals, they make everything else you're doing work better. And now that you've stopped the drain, it's time to learn how to rebuild gently, day by day, with a practical plan you can stick to. That's what we'll explore next. Part 6, rebuilding your mineral foundation, a simple 4-week plan. Now that you've stopped the leaks, it's time to refuel. Healing from mineral deficiency doesn't require perfection, it requires consistency. Here's a simple 4-week strategy to help your body absorb, restore, and feel the difference. Week 1, awareness and clean swaps. Start by tracking how often you consume processed carbs, caffeine, or alcohol. Replace just one of them per day. Swap fruit juice for lemon water, white bread for whole grain, and sugary snacks for nuts or dark chocolate. Week 2, add mineral-rich foods. Incorporate 1 mineral-dense meal per day. For example, salmon with spinach and sesame seeds magnesium, pumpkin seed, chimichurri over steak zinc, or roasted broccoli with Brazil nuts chromium. Week 3, smart supplementation if needed. If symptoms like fatigue, tingling, or sugar cravings persist, consider adding high-quality supplements: chromium picolinate, zinc glycinate, magnesium glycinate. Start with low doses, track how you feel, and consult your provider if unsure. Week 4. Support recovery with rest and hydration. Healing demands rest. Prioritize 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Stay hydrated, and consider a weekly Epsom salt foot soak for magnesium relief. Add light movement like walking or stretching to enhance absorption and circulation. By the end of week 4, many people report clearer thinking, reduced cravings, better sleep, and more stable blood sugar. And this isn't just progress, it's the beginning of real cellular healing. But even with a perfect plan, there's one thing more important than nutrients, and that's mindset. That's what we'll look at next. Part 7, Mindset, the most powerful mineral you can't measure. No meal, supplement, or habit works if you believe you're too far gone to change. For many seniors living with diabetes, the hardest part isn't choosing the right food. It's battling the quiet voice that says, "It's too late for me." But healing starts in the mind. When you shift from fear to focus, from frustration to possibility, your body follows. This isn't false hope, it's biology. Stress raises cortisol, which worsens blood sugar and strips minerals. But belief, calm, and self-kindness lower inflammation and help your cells recover. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. One mineral-rich meal, one better night's sleep, one moment of self-care, it all adds up. So instead of asking, "Why haven't I healed yet?" try asking, "What can I give my body today to help it heal tomorrow?" Because when you believe you're still worth the effort, your body starts believing it too. Now, let's pull it all together. Diabetes isn't just about high blood sugar. It's about what your body loses quietly, day after day. Chromium, zinc, and magnesium may be just trace minerals, but their absence leaves deep marks in your energy, your nerves, your sleep, your healing. You didn't fail. Your body didn't betray you. It's been fighting hard without the fuel it needs. But that can change. When you start giving your cells the building blocks they've been missing, you don't just treat diabetes, you rebuild your strength from the inside out. Your clarity comes back. Your feet don't burn at night. You sleep deeper. You feel more like you again. And this isn't about expensive pills or impossible diets. It's about listening to your body's quiet cries and answering them with real food, small shifts, and a mindset that says, "I'm not done yet." If something in this video resonated with you, drop a comment, share it with someone who's struggling in silence, and subscribe if you want more tools, more hope, and more ways to feel strong again. Because you're not broken, you're rebuilding, and you're not alone.